Okay, I am going to label this video what not to do. As you can see in front of me here, we've got two different types of blades that have obviously seen a better life. And I'm going to tell you the story here because I believe it's important. In my situation here, and if you watch a video I made about my windmill system, that video was taken actually before this happened. So I'm glad I got that video on because everything was hunky-dory that day. So let me tell you what happened here. I had this big blue one here. Those originally, those blades are 6 feet long. Or, geez, I might be exaggerating there. Maybe they're 5 feet long. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. They came from a different supplier, and it was a 3-blade design. Very, very productive design. So I had that one mounted on the roof, and you'll be able to relate if you did watch that other video. And then I had this one here. This was my second highest tower. This was a 6-blade as well. Missouri wind again. So what I did is I purchased these blades and I put them on my PMA, and of course when you get something with such a large wingspan, you take necessary precautions and you support it. So what I had done is I ran 4 major 1/4-inch cable, aircraft cable supports, and I lagged them into my roof. Each support was probably about 15 feet long, and they were lagged into a 2x8 in the truss. They were lagged in, and there was turnbuckles on them to keep the tension on them, to level the tower and to keep the tension on them. And trust me, I in my opinion, I spared no expense. I also run 4 additional supports from the tower down to the base of the tower. So in all, I had 8 supports. Behind that, I had this smaller tower, which was about 26 feet high, and it had 3 supporting cables, plus it's bolted to the side of the shop. It's anchored to the ground. It was a pole design. And then my third tower, being the one I'm working on actually today, is that old TV antenna. So what happened was, I pay attention to the weather quite a fair bit. But anyway, what happened was we ended up getting almost a plow wind that came. It wasn't quite, but I'm thinking we were pushing 55-mile-an-hour winds. And what had happened at the end was everything was producing well, but these gusts were there, and it eventually ripped the lag out of the windward side of this big blue one. And when that lag ripped out, that cable flew up into this spinning prop. This spinning prop, of course, immediately disintegrated, and it threw up one of its cables up into the prop of this second windmill. Now you'll see the tips are broken off. I didn't notice that for quite a while. I thought this one, when it got away free and clear, but it didn't. After a while I noticed some vibration. But this one here, I just want to point out here, we got a safety issue here. I have my windmills located on my shop, and adjacent to the shop is where my child plays. In fact, in some of my videos you'll see a play structure in the background, and that's exactly where she plays. Now, had this happened on a sunny afternoon when we were outside playing, the results could have been a lot different. So I never did find the third blade. Now these blades probably weigh, I don't even know, they got to be at least 4 or 5 pounds maybe. And parts everywhere. Like, I found lots of parts, but I never found it all, and like I say, I'm missing a blade completely. And there's a pretty decent chunk of aluminum on these ones here. So putting your child in the line of fire is probably not the first thing you intend to do, but I believe it's well worth saying that even when you think you've overkilled your project and everything's going to be all right, maybe it's Mother Nature we can't completely prepare for. So, hindsight, maybe I needed something to tether those cables down. If that cable didn't fly, the windmill probably still would have fallen over. Maybe not as maybe it wouldn't have taken out the other one or whatever. But it's just food for thought. I don't know what the correct rectification of it would be, but I just kind of wanted to get that out there, that even when you do take the time, sometimes things can turn south on you and fast. So maybe a relocation of the windmills would be in order, but of course they're the only place they can be. And I'd say the same with her play structure there. That's probably the only place it could be. We have a pretty busy yard here. So that is why these two birds sit on the ground now, and I just have the one left. Not saying anything can't go wrong with the last one either. When you do have a tower, it requires maintenance, even if it's just an inspection every once in a while. And the other best advice I can give is don't let your guard down. Pay attention to the weather forecast. If you need to throw a brake on, in my case, I can lower the tower if need be. But I believe it's important to pass on mistakes, and this is definitely one of them. So food for thought. I was digging out by my greenhouse here. I did a barrel heater project, and I actually found one of the blades, or a piece of the blade. It was actually off this smaller one here, and that was over 100 feet away. That was clean past my daughter's play area. So that's food for thought. And considering I can't find the third blade of the big blue one there, you know, where did that land? You know, and thankfully this happened early in the morning. About 5:30 in the morning this happened. Thankfully no one was injured, I guess is the final. So in the end, it probably cost me, this little catastrophe here probably set me back about $300, maybe $400 worth of blades. I lost 6 Missouri winds, and I lost 3 of these. So everything else was salvageable. However, I like to keep these blades around because they're kind of an eye-opener, and you don't want to lose. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. And then the other thing being, even when you think you're in good shape, Mother Nature can soon change that for you. So I just wanted to put that out there, a little bit of safety, maybe a little bit of forethought. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, I guess, and you can never plan too much for because when you think about it, these blades are winging. They are doing TSRs of probably 6. So you think about that tip speed, that's well over 100 miles an hour, in some cases probably much higher. So you got to put a lot of thought into it and try and do the best you can without taking anyone down, if you know what I mean. Okay, well, thanks for your time. Out for now.